Hello everyone, I am Anupam Kumar Singh from Systech Ratibad in Mechanical Engineering Department. A very warm welcome to all of you to this video lecture of heat and mass transfer. Laws of heat transfer. There are two types of laws in heat transfer. One is the fundamental law and the second is the subsidiary law. Fundamental laws which are applicable everywhere. We do not need to think upon that whether this law will be applicable for the particular area or not, or the application or not. It would be applicable for each and every application. It cannot be invalid. The subsidiary laws are the laws which are kind of a special law which is applicable in some special cases. The example of the fundamental law is the mass conservation law, laws of motion. So these are the some laws which are the fundamental laws. If we talk about the subsidiary laws of heat transfer, so there are three subsidiary laws of heat transfer. Number one is the Fourier's law of conduction. Number two is the Newton's law of convection, and number three is the Stephen-Boltzmann law, which is applicable for the radiation. So we will start from the first subsidiary law of heat transfer, that is Fourier's law of conduction. So here from the topic you can see that this law is only applicable for the conduction. So there are three modes of heat transfer. Number one is the conduction, number two is the convection, number three is the radiation. As we already studied in previous lecture that the conduction occurs in a stationary media and it occurs due to the temperature difference in the medium, and heat flows from high temperature side or end to the lower temperature side or end. So here we are going to study the law of conduction, that is known as the Fourier law. So according to this law, heat flux through a simple homogeneous solid is directly proportional to the temperature gradient. So what is the meaning of heat flux? Heat flux is, suppose this is a phase, you can see there are two phases right now, this phase and this phase, through which heat transfer is taking place. From this phase heat is entering, and from this phase heat is going out. So this heat Q is the heat flow rate, which is given in watt. As we know that in heat transfer subject, the heat flow is always mentioned in the rate of heat transfer. So that is the unit of that is the joule per second or the watt. So Q, the unit of Q is the watt. This is the area, this is a surface area through which heat Q is being transferred. So what is heat flux? Heat flux is small q, it is denoted by small q, is equal to the heat flow rate that is given in the watt divided by per unit area. So per unit area, A you can mention with the unit of area maybe meter square or centimeter square or mm square. Okay, fine. So according to this law, heat flux, that is Q, is through a simple homogeneous solid, means it is a solid. Yes, it is a solid right now in this case, but there may be liquid, there may be the gases. So Fourier's law is applicable for the solid, liquid and gases. The condition should be the solid would be in stationary, but liquid and the gases, if we are applying the conduction, Fourier's law of conduction, so that should be in the stationary condition. There should be no mass movement, as we already studied in previous lecture. So according to this law, heat flux through a simple homogeneous solid is directly proportional to the temperature gradient. So what is the temperature gradient? It is the dt by dx. As you can see that this phase, this whole phase, okay, each and every point of this phase is maintained at temperature T1. I have denoted T1 here because it is showing some magnitude, and T2 it is also showing magnitude from this reference line, this reference line. So T1 is greater than T2, as we can see from the diagram. So if we want to calculate the gradient of this line, suppose if this distance, this vertical distance is dt, means T1 minus T2, and this distance is the dx, means some x1 minus x2, in that condition we can tell that the gradient is nothing but the dt by dx, as we know that the gradient is the perpendicular upon the base. Okay, so it can be written as q is equal to dt by dx. Fine. But in the Fourier law, in this equation, we put a negative sign. I am telling you why I am putting a negative sign. Let me first of all solve this equation. Now q, small q, can be written as q by a. As we know, the small q is the heat flux. It is a heat flux. So heat flux is directly proportional to the temperature gradient, so q by a. And when we replace this proportionality sign, we will have a constant which is known as the thermal conductivity, or sometimes it is also known as the constant of proportionality. Okay, and minus dt by dx. Fine. So this equation can be written as q is equal to minus k a dt by dx, where q is the heat flow rate in watt, k is the thermal conductivity. The unit of the thermal conductivity we are going to see after some time. A is the area, this surface area, and this is the in the meter square, on the centimeter square or the mm square, and dt by dx is the temperature gradient, and the unit of the temperature gradient is the degree Celsius by meter. Okay, so dt by dx, the unit of dt by dx is degree Celsius by meter. Fine. Now the question is why we are putting this negative sign. So this negative sign is to take care of negative gradient, of the temperature profile. So it is always, we always put this negative sign to make this value positive. As you can see that T1, when what would be the dt? Dt would be the final temperature T2 minus T1, and the distance would be, the difference of distance would be the x2 minus x1. So as we know that this term is the positive, but this term is negative, since T2 is lesser and T1 is higher. So in all, if we will not put this negative sign, suppose in that condition the value of q will be the negative, which is not true, because it is flowing in the x positive direction, so it should be the positive value. So to make it positive, we apply a negative sign. Okay, so we can say that the negative sign is used to take care of negative gradient, okay, dt by dx. Okay, and to make q positive in positive x direction. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, fine. So this is the law. So what is Fourier equation, you can say? So the Fourier equation is q is equal to minus ka dt by dx. Now this Fourier equation can be derived for the different kind of shape, means rectangular shape. It can be derived for the cylindrical, it can be derived for the spherical. That we will do later on. Right now this is the equation, this is a very common equation which can be used for any kind of shape. Now one thing we should notice here, that heat can flow in any direction. Okay, if heat is flowing in a substance, so it can go in this direction, it can go in this direction, or it can go into the perpendicular direction of this board. Okay, means in 3 dimensions. But right now we are only showing that heat is flowing in x direction, because we have applied the limitation that the heat is only flowing in the x direction. The amount of heat which is flowing in the y direction and the z direction, these are very negligible or very less. So we have neglected the heat flow in x direction, in y direction and in the z direction. So we are taking the one dimensional heat flow. So the first assumption we can see that heat flow in our case is the one dimensional or unidirectional. So the assumption heat is unidirectional. Number 2, temperature gradient is constant. You can see that gradient of the temperature, the slope of the temperature, this profile is constant. It is not changing, means it is not behaving like, this. It is a constant number. So is the second assumption. No internal heat generation inside the body. There is no heat generation. Only the heat which is coming in is going out. There is no kind of internal heat generation. This material is homogeneous and isotropic, means property in all the directions and all the points are the same. Okay, fine. Now what is the thermal conductivity? We should understand it now. Suppose if any material, if there is a metal or non-metal or kind of insulator, any material having some, having the property to flow, to let the flow heat through it, एंड दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज़ नोन एज द कंडक्टिविटी. किसी भी मीडियम से, वो सॉलिड हो सकता है, लिक्विड हो सकता है, गैस हो सकता है, सॉलिड में भी मेटल हो सकता है, नॉन मेटल हो सकता है, उसमें से जो आपका हीट है वो उसमें फ्लो हो सकता है. वो सब्सटेंस जो है वो सॉलिड मटेरियल या लिक्विड गैस उस हीट को फ्लो होने देता है. ज़्यादा अमाउंट में होने दे सकता है या कम अमाउंट में होने दे सकता है, लेकिन वो होने दे रहा है, जिसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, इट इज़ नोन एज द प्रॉपर्टी विच इज़ नोन एज द कंडक्टिविटी. सो थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी, इन दिस केस वी विल से थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी. तो किसी भी मटेरियल के लिए अगर हम बात करें, फॉर एनी मटेरियल द थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी इज ए प्रॉपर्टी एंड इट इज़ ए कांस्टेंट. मीन्स इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एल्यूमिनियम, सो इट इज़ कांस्टेंट. इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द कॉपर, सो इट इज़ कांस्टेंट. लाइक इफ वी विल टॉक अबाउट द कॉपर, व्हाट इज द कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ कॉपर, सो इट इज़ 380 watt per meter Kelvin. If we are talking about the silver, so it is 420 watt per meter Kelvin. For diamond, 2300 watt per meter Kelvin. Understood? Means for the specific material, the thermal conductivity for that particular material will be constant. It is not going to change with respect to the temperature. Okay, so we are assuming that the in this condition that the conductivity is constant. Okay, fine. And this conductivity is a property of the material. It is a property of material. Very important to understand. I am repeating, it is a property of the material. Now thermal conductivity. What is thermal conductivity? Thermal conductivity is the amount of energy. It is the amount of energy conducted through a body of unit area and unit thickness when the temperature difference is unit. So as we derived right now that Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. Okay, so we can write this equation in the form like K is equal to Q by A dx by dt. You all would be agree with this equation? Now in this equation, if we will assume that Q is equal to 1, A is equal to, means unity 1, dt by dx is equal to 1, in that condition the K would be equal to 1. It means the conductivity, please try to understand, in this condition conductivity is being equal to the quantity of heat flow. So we can say that conductivity is the amount of energy conducted through. Conductivity is the amount of energy conducted through a body, of unit temperature difference, okay, unit area and unit thickness. Understood? So amount of energy conducted through a body, unit area, unit thickness and unit temperature difference is known as the thermal conductivity. Fine. And very important to notice that thermal conductivity for different material, it is different, but for a particular material it is fixed, and that is why it is a property of the material. Okay, fine. Now what is the unit of this thermal conductivity? So if you will see here, so I can determine very simply that Q is equal to, okay, minus Ka dt by dx. So we can write it, K is equal to, let me take another, K is equal to Q by A dt by dx. So the unit of Q is the watt, unit of area is equal to meter square, the temperature unit degree Celsius or Kelvin, means right now suppose I am taking in Kelvin, divided by dx, dx by dt. So the unit of x will be meter and Kelvin. So 1 meter to 1 meter cancel. So the unit of the conductivity would be watt per meter Kelvin. Very important. It is very important. Please note down and remember all the time that unit of conductivity is watt per meter Kelvin. You can do this. It is a very simple, So one thing we should also notice in this, that thermal conductivity can also be written as watt per meter degree Celsius, since there is in this dt is the temperature difference. So if we will change it, this degree Celsius, into the Kelvin, in that condition even the difference will be same. So either the unit of conductivity would be watt per meter Kelvin, or it may be the watt per meter degree Celsius. Okay, so you can also replace Kelvin in degree Celsius in this case only, but I would advise you all to always use this unit, or the unit of the temperature only Kelvin. Okay. Thank you very much for listening.